Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, this is the hard bit. We've had such amazing speakers today. I just had a word with Deborah, and I said the next time that we are on the same time as Jill, Finola, Brian, put us on first. Because this is really not fair. Amazing. And thank you, Jason. What a brilliant job you're doing as MC. Go on, give Jason another round of applause there. Okay, so what a privilege it is to be asked to speak today, and what a pleasure it is to be here with all of you. And you know, we get asked all the time, what does it take? What does it take to have a global business? What does it take to have such a big business in forever? And you know, I want you to have a think about what it is you truly, truly, truly want in your life. Because I do believe that's key. You need to want to become, or need to become, a pro network marketer. So a professional. This is a business, this is an industry. And because we are in this industry, there's lots of different levels that you can be, but you need to be the best version of you. You need to be a professional. What would it be like to live the life of your dreams? Can you imagine waking up in the morning and you are the boss and you were able to design your life? You've seen the checks here just before us. Who would like one of them? No? Only a few of you? Yeah? Okay, to build a business that will allow you to have whatever you want in life. You know, our first slide there, I'm a beauty therapist. I was good at waxing and painting nails. James was in printing. Did we have any experience in this industry? No. Did we know what we were doing? No. But I had a very, very firm emotional goal, is that I wanted to be at home with my little boy and not miss any of those moments. To travel. Did you see all them lovely hotels? That was only about half of them, wasn't it, James?
Yeah. And that wasn't family holidays, that was just forever trips. So when you've seen people walk across the stage and they're picking up the chairman's bonus, and you just see the checks, but it's the experience that comes along with that. So we've been to 6 global rallies, and we've been to many different rallies before that across Europe. And it's those experiences that stay with you forever when the money's gone. It's those experiences that are going to change how you look at problems or overcome objections from having those experiences. And that's something that I challenge you to find somewhere else that you're going to find that.
To have family time? Hands up here in the audience who has children. Yeah. And it is the most amazing gift in the world, but to be able to spend as much time with them, because time is something money cannot buy. And I look at Sean now, he's 14. He was 3 when I joined Forever. I'm looking up at him now. It's really hard to give out to him. But it's true. You know, and everything Lisa said there about your children, to be able to say, yes, we can do this for you. Yes, it's your dream. Sean has recently gone into karting, hasn't he? And I'm telling you now, we would have bought him a boat quicker. Cheaper. The cost of it. But it's his passion, it's his dream. He's obsessed with Formula 1. So he now has a motorsports license quicker than a driving license. But without Forever, that wouldn't have happened. We could not have afforded to help him with his dream, and we would have had to say no. So it's not all about us. It's about our children, most definitely. And for those of you with children, connect to that, because it's so, so important. The travel has been amazing for our family. After we were in Dubai, we went on to Australia. We brought the children to Australia for 2 weeks, so we were away for 3 weeks. And oh my goodness, wasn't it amazing?
It's absolutely fantastic. People's families move abroad. My sister's been living over in Australia now for 3 years, and we don't see each other that often. Myself and Niamh went to Australia last year, and we were in Perth for a week, and we got to see her then. But before that, our kids hadn't seen their auntie in like 2.5 years. So to be able to bring them with us on the back of a global rally, to go to Australia, do a bit of work while we're there, and to get that time together, it was just magical. My sister has a new family, and she's more or less adopted 2 kids, so I got to see them for the very first time. So it's those experiences that we cherish so much.
Absolutely, and money can't buy. So Hazel said to us yesterday, Mom, you know the way we had a holiday, we were just back from Australia. And I said, yeah, well, that was at Easter time, so when's our summer holiday? And I thought it was so funny. I said, you went to Australia? She's like, yeah, but it's almost time for another one. So they love it too, which is absolutely fantastic. Okay, to have a healthy bank balance. When was the last time you looked at your bank balance and you thought to yourself, I don't need to worry? I remember the days of checking our bank balance every week, wondering had the bills been paid, wondering when the mortgage was coming out, watching for direct debits. Can anyone relate to that? Yeah?
Having to check the balance before you go shopping for groceries.
Yeah, is there enough money in the account to do a food shop? These are all things that I remember very, very, very clearly. But with Forever, it doesn't have to be like that. I actually don't even know how to log into online banking anymore. I don't know how to do it, which is probably bad, actually. He does all of it. But that is the amazing thing about Forever and what you have your hands on. To have a free life and to own your own life. But to have all of these things, you don't get it for nothing, do you? What do you think you have to do for that? Work. Dirty four-letter word. Work. And it's true. So when I first started out on my journey 11 years ago, I was like so many of you here in this room. I was skeptical. I was wondering, would it work? Could I do it? Would people buy these products? Are the products really that good? Because let's face it, we all have doubts, don't we? Yeah? But, you know, from coming to my trainings, coming to my events, learning my trade, and committing to be the best that I could be, 11 years later, here we are, our third year at #1, which is a huge privilege. But we don't do it for the status. We do it for the life. And we do it for the life that we have and that we adore, and the life that we're able to give our children and help people, help our family, help our friends. It is absolutely incredible. And what I can say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Have we slides?
We do, just a couple of them. Now, you've heard this word a couple of times today already, and it's a word that's said many, many times at Success Day, and it normally comes from people when they're crossing the stage after reaching maybe supervisor, assistant manager, or manager, whether you're in the business a short period of time or a long period of time. It's when they actually decide to go and do something, and they commit to that decision.
Absolutely.
So you decide what you want, you decide what you're willing to exchange for it, and you establish your priorities and you go to work.
Could you not read it? Okay, so you have to make the decision that this business matters. Hands up in the room just so that I know who has a day job. Okay. So when you have a day job, and you're finished your day job, and you come home, and you have family, and you have kids, and you have after-school activities, and you have all the running around, and you get the kids to bed in the evening, you fall down exhausted. Am I right? Because that's really what happens in most everyday life. But what you have to remember is Forever has to be a priority. It has to be that this business matters. Because it's not just an opportunity, it's your opportunity that you have committed to, okay? Because nothing really matters until you decide. Nothing happens until you decide. Every single speaker across this stage today said the words, I decided. And until you decide, you're going to stay where you are. Does that make sense? So you need to have decision. You haven't joined to try it out, see how it goes, to give it 6 months, as Brian was saying. I'll give it a year. What does that do? It tells your subconscious, after a year, if I'm not at the level that I want to be at, I can quit. It's okay. You're okay in it with yourself, that you've given it a year, you've given it your best shot, I'm out of here. It doesn't work. It does work, but the question is, have you worked? And that is the reality. This business model works, have you worked? And we firmly believe that, don't we? Success means different things to different people. And I want you to think about that for a second. Success is different to everybody. When I joined Forever, James wasn't interested.
A bit like Jason, maybe it's a male condition. I just assumed that if Forever was a makeup and moisturiser girly business, but I didn't look at it. So how could I make a decision? How could I know what the business was really all about when I didn't even go to a business presentation? I didn't go to Success Day. The slides that are on the screen earlier on, the very first picture shows Niamh as assistant manager, and I'm kind of standing behind Niamh.
Yeah.
I didn't know. That was my first exposure to Forever, going to that Success Day. So she got to assistant manager at that stage. So when I see people coming to Success Day or to a business presentation and they're bringing their partners those partners are one step ahead of me. Well, they're a couple of steps ahead of me because they're going to see it at an early stage. I didn't know what it was about. I knew kind of the way I thought of it was, okay, Niamh's a beautician, so she's waxing and painting nails. That's okay, that's what she wants to do. So if forever is her new thing, that's okay, that's what she wants to do. I'm happy enough in my day job in the printing. So yes, I supported her the same way Jason supported Louise, but it was Louise's thing, it was Niamh's thing. And it was only when the money started coming in, and I went to a Success Day, and I saw her being recognised, and I realised that it's not just a girly thing, that it's not just makeup and moisturisers. We're using the products as a family at home. Bit by bit, we slowly replaced the toothpaste in the bathroom for our tooth gel, and moved through the whole product range that way. But then I could see what the company was about. And it's only then when I went to more events, like going to the Managers Summit or going to the European Rally, and really seeing what this company has to offer. But people see it at different rates. It took me a long, long time to see what this company was really all about. And then it took me even longer to realize that I could work this business too.
So if you have a partner at home who's not interested, who thinks you're going off to your cult day, yeah? Come on, let's talk about it. I sat at my first Success Day, no word of a lie. I sat there and I looked around me and I thought, what have I joined? And I went home and James said, how was it? I said, I think I've joined a cult, but I don't know. It was pretty good, but I better go back because they told me I had to go back to be successful. I did what I was told. I went every single month, and in 11 years I've missed 2 Success Days. One of them I was sitting up in the rotunda with a brand new baby. So I had a really good excuse, although I did ask, could I slip out for an hour, and they said no. Okay, so it means different things to different people. Success to me 11 years ago was earning €50 a week. If I could earn €50 a week selling a few products, I could be at home. Because as a therapist, really and truly, by the time I'd paid my childminder and paid everything for me to go to work part-time and come home, that's all I was left with. So it was a no-brainer. And now I look at beauty therapy jobs and I look at where I would be in that industry right now. And I dread to think. I can now, in 1 month, earn my year's salary as a beauty therapist. In 1 month. So when people say to me, oh, I'm okay for money, yeah, I work full-time. You need to think bigger. Much, much, much bigger. Because success is a journey. And success changes. And as the months go by and as the years go by, you realize your capabilities and you realize that you can do more and you can earn more. So it really, really is a decision. It's a decision to be better and to be your best self. Is there another slide? Mm-hmm. Mindset. I think every speaker across this stage today, as their slides were coming up, I was like, oh my God, I've nothing left to talk about. They've spoken about everything. So excuse me if I do repeat what's already been said, but sometimes it has to be because it is the same things we all do. Finola, as you were doing your slides, I think you've covered everything that I'm doing.
Kind of shows that we're all on the same page, though.
Absolutely. Yeah, taught you well, yeah. So mindset. Probably 95% of success is down to mindset. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. If you can get your mindset right, making a decision is one thing, but actually following through day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, even when you really, really, really don't want to work this business, they're the days that you have to. We all have bad days, don't we? We all have days where we wake up and we don't want to work our business. We wake up and we're having a bad day, but we decide we're having a bad day. It's our decision that the day is going to go bad. So you have to flip it. So how do we flip it? How can anyone tell me? How do we flip it into a good day if we're having a bad day? Dance.
Dance it off.
I love dancing, yeah. I have a playlist that I play every single morning to put me in good form. Read a book. Not read the whole book. You'll still be there at the end of the day with no work done. Read a chapter of a book, yeah? Gratitude, yeah? If you're grateful for one thing every single day, it makes you realize.
A lot of the time we focus on what we haven't yet achieved, that we don't give ourselves credit for what we've already done. So sometimes looking back, just taking 5 minutes out of your day to write down what you have achieved with your business so far and be very proud of it.
So a negative thinker sees a difficulty in every opportunity. A positive thinker sees an opportunity in every difficulty. You know, we all face the same challenges. We all have the same set of negative family and friends. As Brian said, or Finola said, you don't even realize they're negative until you start doing forever. Yeah? We all do it. But it's just to really, really not to take it to heart and to work on the mindset. So yes, when I'm having a bad day or when we're having a bad day, it still affects us. When I get a no from somebody that was definitely going to do the business and then they change their mind last minute, yes, it affects me. I was supposed to have 3 guests here today that I only went online last night and bought 3 guest tickets for them. Didn't show today after confirming they were coming. Does it get to me? I just go, yeah, they're lost. Move on. That would have knocked me for a week. Now I have a pity party that lasts about 10 minutes and then I move on. Because if you let it get to you anymore, it's going to drag you down. And if it drags you down for an hour, it will drag you down for a day. If it drags you down for a day, your day will turn into a week. And before you know, you're in a cycle of not doing anything in your business and feeling sorry for yourself. So you need to be always, always, always mindful of your mindset and how positive that you can be.
Mm-hmm. I love this quote. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. And that, again, is your mindset. It's how you're reacting to that problem. So when you're faced with a problem, how big is the problem? What influence do you have on it? How can that really affect your business or your day or your life or your family, whatever it's affecting? But what do you have control of? What can you just let go of and say, I have no control of that? And what do I have control of? And what can I focus on? And what changes can I make to make a difference to that? Absolutely. That's how we react.
So, if it's going to be, then it's up to me. And I know these are quotes that 90% of you in the room have heard before. But do you tell yourself them daily? This is the thing. Or are you doing what I used to do? I'd come to a success day. I see you all have notepads out. I'd write the notes. I'd go home. I'd close the book. It'd go in a press or get shoved in a drawer when I'm tidying up. Or get shoved in my bedside locker or maybe left in the car. And then I come across it and I open it and I go, oh, yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was a great day. This was 6 months later. Or do you bring it home? Do you sit down tonight with a glass of wine or a cup of tea, open it out, and go over what it is you learned today? And what can you implement in your life, in your business, from tomorrow? Don't wait until it's convenient. It'll never be convenient. This business was never convenient.
No.
Sure it's not. Okay. So, 3, 4, 5, 7. Oh, sorry, thanks, James. I've lots of notes, and anyone that knows me knows I don't do notes. But I have notes. Okay, so, next slide, James. So we are in the business of developing friends. Did you know that? That's what we're in the business of, developing friends. I get paid to make friends every single day. How cool is that? You don't look convinced. You're looking at me going, what is she talking about? You're all looking very confused in the front row. Okay, yeah, but that's what I do. I get paid to make friends. And how do we do that? Every day. It's very, very important that it's not about buy my product, buy my product, buy my product, buy my product. Join. That does not work. Would anyone agree with me? We've all come across aggressive people in our industry. We've all heard of aggressive people in our industry. We've heard stories of people, and you know, that's what turns people off forever. Because they meet someone, they get a bad feeling about it, and they go, no, that's it, not interested. We have a good few beauty salons in our team. And I was with one of the salons last week, and I walked in, and I know the girls really, really well. They knew about the new Move supplement before I got to tell them. They sell a lot of freedom. And I said to them, how do you know about the Move? I thought, God, they must be really checking their emails because they don't normally. And they said, oh, Niamh, seriously, we had a group of Forever Women in here yesterday. And I just knew. I knew by the way she was saying it. She said, well, yeah, she said they were on some day out, 4 or 5 of them. And she said, from the minute they walked in that door till the minute they left, forever, 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 forever. Business card, business card, business card, business card. Every therapist that crossed their path got hounded. And then it didn't finish there. Sure it didn't. When they got home, they started friend requesting all the therapists on Facebook and sending them messages. And better still, they then said, how much do you pay for the freedom? That's wholesale price. They buy it direct from the company. Oh, I'll get here, you call me, I'll sort you out cheaper. And I just thought to myself there and then, I would imagine these are new ladies in the business. I would hope that they're not established distributors. But I knew there and then that them people, them ladies, had actually just completely turned all of the therapists in that salon off forever. Would you imagine? I had been working really, really, really hard on building a relationship with them. Really hard. I think there's about 15 therapists, and I'd never once spoken to them about the business because I was building their trust. I was speaking to them about their products, I was training them on their products, and boom, like that. So you have to remember that you are there to make friends with people and to talk to them and to inform them.
There's a fantastic training that Andy Waring does. Has everybody heard of Andy Waring? He's a very successful distributor over in the UK and a millionaire from forever. And he talks about the bucket and chuck it method. Okay, so technically what the ladies were doing in the salon was not wrong, apart from the last bit about the price. But everything else up to that point was right, if delivered in a proper order, in an order and in a way that the therapists or the people in the salon wanted to be given the information or were ready for it. Okay, so Andy talks about the bucket and chuck it method is like when you go out for a meal and you get a lovely starter and then a lovely main course and then you get a lovely dessert and you really enjoy it and you might spread it out over the hour and you've looked at the menu, you've chosen what you want, you've maybe asked the waiter or the waitress like, what is the special of the day, and they explain it to you and you get salivating at the mouth. We've all been in a restaurant and you're dying for your food to come along and you really enjoy it. If you got the same meal, the same starter, the same main course, and the same dessert, and the waitress got all those 3 courses, put them in a bucket, put it in the blender, blended it up, and threw it at you, technically it's the same food, but delivered in a completely different manner. That's what the girls did in the salon. They talked about the products, they talked about the business, they followed up, stalked on Facebook, but followed up. It's the exact same things, but just delivered in a different way. So as Niamh says, maybe they're brand new in the business and they're very excited and eager and I know I need to do this, 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 and this.
They did it all together?
They just did it all together in one go.
Absolutely.
And freak people out.
So sometimes it's in the moment. Sometimes you sponsor somebody very quickly. Sometimes you sell a product to somebody very quickly. But if you don't realize that it takes time, sometimes it can take 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years to really and truly follow up with somebody and to build relationships. And you know the saying, the fortune is in the follow-up? The follow-up doesn't always have to be about the business. If you're making friends with people, the follow-up might be a Facebook message to say, saw you got a new car, it's fabulous. Or, you know, I've seen you've been on holidays, what was that resort like? Or, happy birthday. Do you follow what I mean? It doesn't always have to be, hi Sarah, just wondering, would you like to have a look at Forever again? That's not building a relationship. Building a relationship is building friendships with people, where people are really, really interested and want to stay connected with you, whether it be on social media or face-to-face in the street. This I found fascinating. Sales statistics. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. And guys and girls, we are salespeople. You can code it up whatever way you want and say we recommend, of course we recommend. But you can't say we don't sell product and then in the next sentence tell your prospect we're proud members of the Direct Selling Association. We are salespeople. So 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 30% of salespeople make a second contact and then stop.
12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and then stop. And only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. So that's the sales statistic that's always been there. You might have heard about the 7 exposures to a product before somebody actually really wants to buy it or use that service. And it's the same with our business. So like as Niamh's saying, when you're making that contact with people, you're just keeping your business, you're keeping yourself, you're keeping your brand in front of them and letting them aware that you're there. So your stickability is giving you credibility. We heard it from the stage earlier on today. And it's by creating those exposures all the time that you will get success along the way. Now, some people might buy the opportunity or the product sooner, maybe on the first exposure. But you're never going to know if it's going to take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, unless you keep people in the loop. And there's nice, gentle, sociable ways of doing that without bombarding people with information that they don't really want. Because the truth is that 2% of sales are made on the first contact, 3% of sales on the second contact, 5% made on the third contact or more, 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact, and up to 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact or exposure to a product or service. So if you've gone to look at a car, most people when they buy a car, they know exactly what car they want or what they want in a car, how many seats it has, what kind of gearbox it has, if it's automatic or manual, is it petrol or diesel. They have an image of what they want. How do they have that image? It's because they've seen many, many cars along the way that's given them the exposure to what they really want. So when you give people enough exposures to your product or service or to the business opportunity, they can then make a decision in their head when you sit down and do a one-to-one. They're ready because they want the business. So you're no longer trying to sell something that they don't want. You're just providing somebody with information about a product or the opportunity that we have that they want. So then your success rate gets better. You're doing the dog work before you get your one-to-one.
Absolutely. And that's for sales and for prospecting. Remember, when we're talking about prospecting, it is a form of sales. You're selling our business opportunity, isn't that right? So this is exactly the same. I could touch base with someone 6, 7, 10, 20 times before they take a look at my business. But I'm not pushy, and I'm not aggressive, and I'm building a friendship. And that way, they will come back to me. Okay, positive daily habits. So,
Have you gone ahead?
have I gone ahead? No, I don't think so. Okay, vision without action is a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. This is why I don't make notes. So who likes that one? Yeah? You have to have a clear vision. We've heard everybody today from the stage speaking about vision. Be very, very, very clear about what you want and then take massive action. So how many new people per day are being added to your list? How many new people a day are you speaking to? What exactly is it, action-wise, that you are doing for your business every single day? And it needs to become a habit. It needs to become a habit because you made a decision. And if it doesn't become a habit, then it will become an inconvenience. You and I all know there's days where we go, you get to the end of the day and you have major phone calls that you'd rather clean skirting boards than pick up the phone. Would anyone agree with me? You would do anything other than do your list. Lots of people laughing at me here. That's the truth. But can you imagine if you developed a habit, a daily habit of contacting 2 people per day, every day, week in, week out, month in, month out. That's over 700 people per year. Can you imagine? What effect would that have in your business? And you know, the more consistent in your approach, the better you become. Guys, it doesn't get easier. You just get better. You get the same no's, as Brian was saying. It's the same. We still get no's. We're 11 years. And you know, when James and I got to #1 in the country, we thought, this is brilliant. Everyone's going to want to join our business. It got harder. It got harder because our story became so good that people thought it was all just fake. People found it really, really hard to believe what it was we'd achieved. It was easier when I was earning 500 per month to recruit people. Isn't that the truth, James?
Yeah.
It really,
maybe that
really
comes
is.
down to mindset, though, does it?
Maybe. So the more... saying something wrong with my mindset. Do you want to leave the stage now? Seriously. Next slide. See you later.
You have to have a bit of fun, don't you?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
why I brought a bottle up with me.
So who's heard of Forecore? Has anybody heard of Forecore? Yeah, okay. So Forecore has been around a long, long time. It's nothing new at all. It's just a way of measuring your business. And it's a way of putting it into practice, putting a plan together for yourself. So this is something that you can do entirely on your own, or something that you can use as you being a sponsor, as putting a plan in place for somebody brand new. So that's something that we hear quite regularly, is that when somebody joins Forever, they get to start a pack, they start using the products, they start retailing, they're looking after their customers. That seems quite natural. But when they start introducing the business model to people and they start sponsoring, they start going to business presentations, they start growing a team, all of a sudden they start to panic because somebody's watching them, asking them questions about, what do I do with my business next? So you then become a coach. And then again, it's playing with your mindset and how you look at yourself and how you act, and you start to panic about, what do I need to do next? Okay, so there's lots of fantastic information out there. We've got the First Steps to Manager, and Forecore is just a plan, a way of using that, and a way of measuring what it is that you're doing. Okay, so there's nothing new in Forecore if you've never heard of it before, as you're going to find out when we go through it. Okay.
Hands up who's not seen Forecore before. Most of the room. Super. That's fantastic. Okay, so this is a plug-and-play business. How many times have we heard that? It's a business in a box with a blueprint. Everything you need, you step into it, but then you step into it and you suddenly get lost in the box. You don't know what to do, as James said. The business model stays the same. I have the same marketing plan that you have. Everybody has it. The only variable is you. The only thing that changes is you. So we're going to cover Forever's Forecore. The future strength and profitability of your business can be determined by measuring these, most definitely. So recruitment. If you have a pen and paper, I would strongly advise you to take notes on this because you won't remember it. And even if you're taking photos of the screen, we might say something that you'd like to jot down, okay? So why do we recruit? Hands up in the room who has recruited somebody so that we know. Okay. So, recruitment keeps your business vibrant and growing. Recruitment is like oxygen to your business.
So you need some activities and skills to recruit people. Like if you just sit at home by the phone or by the door waiting for somebody to come along and knock on the door or to ring the phone saying, I want to join your business, it's not really going to happen. Okay, so you need to put yourself out there. You need to develop the contacts. So as Niamh said earlier on, it's about developing the friends. It's about presenting the business opportunity to people too. Somebody's not going to join your team unless they see what they're joining. So you need to become very good at presenting, as Jill Burns said earlier on, a good one-on-one. Sitting down, explaining a bit about the company, a bit about the products, and our marketing plan. That's all things that you can educate yourself on as you're building your business. And you probably know more than you think you know. If you were to sit down with your sponsor and maybe just have a fun quiz, the facts about Forever. Brian went through them earlier on, the unique selling points. What makes our company different to other companies? What makes our product range different to other product ranges? These are all little nuggets of information that you might need to know when you're presenting the business opportunity. And the great thing about our business model is that you're never on your own because you have a sponsor when you join Forever, and they can help you present the business opportunity, where you can bring your sponsor along to a one-on-one, so it's a two-on-one, or you can come along to a business presentation that you have maybe in your home around your kitchen table, or you can come to a company event, or you come to a success day. And many guests are in the room for the very first time today that aren't FBOs. They're just here looking at the presentation today. Anybody?
Any guests in the room?
I know there's at least
Huge
two.
welcome.
Yeah?
You've made the best decision of your life coming along today.
Yeah. So you're getting a great idea of what our business model is all about. So the benefits for recruiting is that you have unlimited earning potential because it's not based on what you do solely yourself. You're building a pipeline for future leaders within your business. So when Marion was standing here earlier on with her check for over $100,000, and she says it's down to having all the great leaders within her team. How do you get leaders in your team? You have to recruit a few people.
So recruitment literally provides unlimited earning potential, doesn't it? It's like being able to duplicate yourself. Would you like to be able to duplicate yourself? You're all looking at me going, what is she talking about? Because you know, a lot of the time, and I can guarantee there's an awful lot of people in this room do not understand the benefits of recruitment. Because Forever is amazing. You can simply retail the products if you want. Or you can recruit and become a team leader. It means more residual income in your pocket. So James and I went off to Dubai and Australia for 3 weeks. Came back. I didn't do an awful lot for the week because I was absolutely wrecked. Our bonus check got bigger. Does that mean we get more holidays?
It means we buy more tires.
Well, yeah. But that's the truth, okay? So it's a residual income is what recruitment gives you. But the big, big, big thing to remember, guys, the more established you are in Forever, the longer you're in Forever, the more disciplined you need to be. Because the residual income, with the residual income, it's oh too easy not to recruit. Hands up in the room who knows that. Yeah? Because it's too easy not to recruit. You don't need to. You have an income coming in every month. But then, as Jill Burns said earlier on, suddenly you see the case credits dropping. And suddenly you see the income. It might not be that sudden. It might be 6 months, a year down the line. If you haven't recruited anyone new, your business becomes stale. Okay? And you really, really need to work on that.
So we can set little goals for ourselves based on recruitment. And one of them would be sponsoring somebody every single month.
One person.
You have to go for it. You have to have that as your goal if you want it to happen. You might not sponsor a new person every single month, but if you're not going for it, you definitely won't. Okay, so you set it as a goal, and you're feeding your pipeline every day by making new friends. And that will in turn help you achieve your goal of sponsoring somebody every month. So we had Nicola Geraghty across the stage here today, being recognized for Network Professional. So that's 2 people a month for 3 months. Okay, so link the goals together, link the incentives together. So when you're setting your personal goals, link them to the goals that the company have already. And then you're getting some recognition across the stage at the same time, which looks great on social media. You get your photograph. That's building up a story about your Forever business for people that are watching you, that you are doing your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 12th contact with. They can see that you are moving through the marketing plan. And then by them seeing you, they might get a little bit of belief in themselves that they can do it too. So it's important to go for these incentives because they will help you with your goals, which will then in turn help you with your business too.
So do you think that recruiting one person per month, how many million people live in Ireland? 5, is it? 6? I don't even know the answer. I'm hoping someone will help me out. So it's one person per month. But then you teach your team to recruit one person per month. Would you like to see the magic of how that would expand into a manager-style business? Yeah? We play a little game? Because you're all asleep on me. Yeah? Okay, what we're going to do is, and I know some of the more established distributors in the room, see everyone putting on their shoes. I'm not going to make you run around, don't worry, it's not that kind of a game. But I want to just show you the benefits of one person, guys. So don't get into your head that you have to build a huge, big network yourself, because that can become really overwhelming, and suddenly you think, where am I going to get all the people? But the power of one is what James and I think about all the time and what we would teach. It's one person per month. And if you've enough people in your network and enough people in your pipeline coming through, then generally speaking, it could end up with 2 people per month. But let's do it with one person per month. So do you want to hop down?
Okay, because I'm not wearing heels.
You're not wearing heels.
Right.
This is not happening.
So what I'm going to do is, what month are we in? May. Okay, so we're in the month of May. Would you like to join my team on stage? Come on. There we go. Give me a round of applause. What's your name?
Sean.
Sean, great name. Jump up there. Okay.
Okay, so we're in the month of May, and James has sponsored
Sean.
Sean. Okay. Hi, Sean.
Great name. Okay, so here we are now, leaving May as a team of 2. Okay?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go into June, and we're going to duplicate that. Sean, you're going to sponsor somebody too, okay?
So pick somebody, and James,
you
you're
go
going
that way,
to
I'll go
sponsor
this way. Yeah? Okay. Anybody over here like to join my team? Come on, I need a volunteer. You're on the phone, come on, come on. Here we go. Fantastic. So here we are now in June.
You were hiding it on your phone. Oh my goodness.
Taking notes. I saw you. Yeah. So here we are now in the month of June. Now I've sponsored and Sean has sponsored. So in our team now, there's 4 people, okay? So now we move into the following month. And now maybe we're aiming to sponsor 2 people a month or 3 people a month, but these particular months we only sponsor 1 each, okay? This is the power of duplication now. So 2 of us will go this way and 2 will go that way, and we'll see if we can sponsor just 1 person each.
Come on, run. Seriously. This is why I did this bit.
Anybody else feeling brave enough to join me on stage? Would you like to join me on stage? Thank you.
Hello. He's all embarrassed being on stage, seriously. Okay, so how many have we got now?
We should have 6. 8?
8.
8. There we go. We're doing well. Okay. So here we are, month 3?
3.
Yeah, and we've got 8 people within the team. All by just sponsoring 1 person a month each, but duplicating it, showing other people how they can do that too. So we're going to go one more month.
We just ask 8 more people to hop up.
Okay,
come on,
if 8
guys,
more
8
people would like to join us on stage.
Come on, volunteer,
Okay.
8 people. Come on, Finola.
There you go. Come on, Andy. Okay, because, so make sure...
Okay, we had a boom. It's okay, come on.
Okay. See, what's happening here now is we have an international business and we're after bringing in Skype into it. So that's how the 8 people joined the team. Without us actually going to Australia and signing up somebody, we've signed them up online, okay? Or we've signed up somebody in America online, because you can build your business anywhere around the world. And with the change of company policy, what we now have is 16 people within the team.
So 16 people doing 4 CCs per month.
Over 2 consecutive months.
You're a manager. Remember, this business, everything can be broken down. How do you break 120 case credits down? You literally break it down. It's 15 people doing 4 case credits for 2 consecutive months. Boom, you're a manager. So we've gone beyond manager here. Now, what will happen if 16 people all sponsor 1 more person? Yeah? You're hitting car plan. You're moving up towards 100 Club. But it's not about James going out and finding 16 people. James has found 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? So James has found 4. But suddenly has a manager business because he is coaching and he is teaching and it is duplicating. Does that make more sense to people now? As to how, because a lot of people look at our marketing plan and look at manager and look at 120 case credits and go, how will I do that? How will I find that amount of people to do that? You don't. You find 4 or 5 good key people who then duplicate.
Simplifies it, doesn't it? And when you look at the volume of product that's moving through your business, if each person was doing 4 CCs a month, roughly how much is that in retail? Around €1,000 a month. So if you have 16 people just doing the 4 CCs each month, that's over €16,000 worth of product moving through your business. A lot of time we don't realize how big a business that we have. When I looked at Forever initially, I thought it was a Mickey Mouse, work from home, beauty products in a box. And I could only see Niamh working at home doing that. But as the team grew, I still had no idea. I just saw Niamh doing that. But when you look at 16 people as a manager business on stage like this, and you figure everybody's turning over €1,000, that's 16 grand, that's 32,000 over the 2 consecutive months. How much is that a year? So would that give you confidence when you're approaching maybe business people, or when you're facing objections, and you realize how big a business you really do have, that it's not a Mickey Mouse thing, it's not just something that's earning your pocket money. This is the kind of conventional business owners would kill to turn over this amount of product every single year with small overheads that we have. So thank you everybody for being on stage. Brilliant. Thanks, Sean. You're very brave.
Does that make a little bit more sense when you see it that way? Yeah? Okay. So the next part of 4 core is retention. Believe it or not, sponsoring is the easy part. Yeah, it is. Sponsoring is the easy part. Retaining and keeping your team happy is a whole different story.
It's a bit like when our youngest daughter went to school. She's so excited. She's excited for 2 years about going to school. And she went in, she did her first day, came home super excited. We got up the next morning, and she says, "Where are we going?" She says, "You're going to school." says, I did that yesterday. He says, we have to do it today as well. That's retention. It's keeping them in school.
Yeah, she was so disappointed when she realised she had to go every day. So retention for a thriving and lasting business, you cannot just sponsor. We need to take steps to ensure that our group and our team stay engaged with the products and opportunity. This is measured in forever terms in 2 ways, by the percentage of FBOs on our recap that are 4cc active every single month. So how many people in your team are doing their 4 every month? And in the second way, the percentage that order in more than 1 month. So they might not be 4cc active every month, but how many distributors do you have that order more than once a year? So how do we do this? Well, we firmly believe communication is key. Undoubtedly, communication is key. It's a key factor in encouraging FBOs to stay engaged. We need to reinforce their decision to build their business and or use the products if they're just happy users of our products. So you need to keep in touch with people. We should recognise them for their efforts and accomplishments, no matter how small or how insignificant that we may see them. I see their actions, they're big, big steps for them. So it's not just the people that are doing 4cc's, it's the people that are doing half a case credit. That's a lot to them. It's the person that goes out and does a one-to-one on their own. They should be cheered on your team page, on Facebook. Facebook is a really, really good tool to use for communication, for sure. I remember the days where I used to have to text all my team or email them all. Can you imagine me doing it now? So Facebook is a wonderful way to do that. We should encourage them to reach their goals and train them in according to what they want. So what are their goals? Because people will go where they are wanted, stay where they are cared for, and grow where they are cared for. Is that right? You have that, don't you? Sorry, James. I'm way ahead of myself here. Okay. I love that quote. I absolutely love it. Did I read it out right?
Yeah, you did. Awesome. But a benefit of keeping that retention, like when you saw the people on the stage here and everybody doing 4cc's, that means you've achieved the position of manager. But if you retained that level of business, if it never grew any more than that, and if you retained that business for a year, for a full 12 months, maybe from the 1st of May through to the 30th of April, do you know what you would have achieved? Eager manager. Because that's basically what eager manager is. It's maintaining a manager's level business. So, anybody know where we're going to Eagle Manager next year? Arizona, absolutely. Can't wait. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But it's by going for these incentives. It's by doing these basics. And you might think the Eagle Manager is way out there and it's not achievable. Or that's for other people. Because that's what we used to think. That's what we thought going to global rallies and seeing people pick up their bonus checks. Until we're in Vienna in 2011. And we said, right, we're not coming back on another rally unless we're picking up a check ourselves. So yes, we came back the next year, and yes, it was one of those checks for $3,000. It was €2,961.
Best check we ever had, wasn't it?
But it's by going for those incentives, breaking it down to a monthly basis, to a weekly basis of what it is that you need to do. And when you see Eagle Manager as just 15, 16 people maintaining the 4cc's over a 12-month period, does that make it seem a little bit more achievable?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, the third one, because we're just running out of time now, is productivity.
You could recruit all the people in the world. You could retain them in your business. But if they're not being productive, have you got a business or have you got a social club? Okay? Productivity is just a way of measuring that. It's the amount of business that's going through
your active case
credits. And that's something to really focus on because it's showing how active you are as an FBO as well. So we have Hector on the stage being recognized for assistant manager. And the reason that he signed up with his own ID number was to show his team what it takes to do. He's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. Okay, so productivity is something that you need to do too. It's not just a case of saying, okay, well, I'm in the business now, and now I can sit down and let my team do all the work. Because what will happen is this business model is so fair that your team will outgrow you. And now they're going to achieve a lot more than you. And you'll end up missing out. So by being productive yourself and being mindful of it, you never miss out. And you'll move through the marketing plan as well, and you'll get all of the royalty style income too. So productivity is total active CCs. Activities that you need to be doing is being a product of the product is a great way of retailing, isn't it? Continue to personally retail and sponsor. And the benefits of doing that is that you have immediate retail and novice profit. I find that productivity, about developing a really strong retail business, is a great way of ensuring retention. Because people join your business, or they join forever, normally it boils down to one thing, and that's a way of earning money, whether it's to free up time with their family, or it's allow them to do things that they couldn't do before, or to relieve pressure financially. It's normally down to earning extra money. And if you can't show somebody how to earn extra money, you are not going to retain them. You can bring them to every success day. You can sit down and stick motivational books and CDs everywhere. That's not going to keep them in the business. What's going to keep them in the business is them achieving their goals. Is them earning money into their family, into their home. Show somebody how they can do that. Do you understand the full value of your retail? Do you understand the true profit that you have in the products? So if I sold a C9 tomorrow and I'm assistant supervisor, do you know how much profit I'll earn? It's just over 40 euros. And every C9 as an assistant supervisor. If I move up the marketing plan as a manager, do you know what kind of profit I earn on a C9? It's just under 60 euros. So there's an incentive in itself to move through the marketing plan. Mm-hmm. I remember Derek Kane speaking from the stage from one of the first times he was up here. And it was seeing that retail profit that got him in the business. He was buying from his mum as a customer, and his mum handed him back the profit and says, I can't take the profit from my son. Best thing she ever did, because he saw there and then, cash in hand, what was to be made with this business.
I think if you have as well a new team member, and you're sitting down, you're showing them the income and the prices, show them a C9.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, go ahead. A big goal that we firmly believe in is aiming to develop new retail customers every month, so that you're not relying on the same customers all the time, because people change brands every now and again. Is anybody, I don't know, they're drinking a certain brand of coffee, and then they get introduced to a new brand of coffee, and they switch across, and they've no alliance to the previous brand. So that can happen to you sometimes with your business too, is that the customers, and if you're building on weight management, and they do C9, and they get down to the desired weight, and then they don't want to do another C9 again, or maybe you need to introduce them to another product.
So within your group, it is obviously very important that we sponsor. But the one thing that we see that goes wrong within a group is if they're sponsoring, but not really cultivating the sales within that team. You have to have a strong retailing ethic within your group. That everybody retails, everybody talks about it, everybody shares best practice. Because if you can retail 4 cc's per month and everyone in your group, can you imagine everyone in your group doing 4 cc's per month? Wouldn't it be amazing? Jason's like, oh, it would be fantastic. Yeah? But I firmly believe that's coming from us because we're not coaching it enough. Mm-hmm. So if we take responsibility to coach our team on 4 case credits and how they can retail and show them. The one thing about being a leader, show, don't tell. You cannot just tell someone what to do. You have to show them how you're doing it. So as a leader, I'd always do my 4 cc's every month on customers. Then our personal use, then our sponsoring, which most months would leave us on 10 or 12 case credits total active instead of 4. Does that make sense? So then I can easily sit and show somebody month in and month out what it is we're actually doing. When you concentrate on your active case credits, you stay focused on your activities that contribute directly to your growth and the stability of your business. So it's the tiny little things every day, day in and day out, that's going to build your business. Be a product of the product, personally retail, and sponsor every single month. And then this bit, which, each of them are just as important, but development. We don't grow a business. We grow people, and the people build the business. Forever don't just grow aloe. they grow people. Forever is you, forever is us. We have to take that responsibility that when someone joins our business, the word sponsor means to mind and to teach and to show. You can't just get them to sign the form and then go on your merry way. You have to help them. Training and support is so, so important to your team. You have to help them with their goals, what it is they want. Link their goals to the marketing plan. Train them, teach them. There's company events all over the country. If you're new, bring them to that. If you don't know how to train them yourself, plug them in. It's a plug and play business. You do need to identify those in your non-manager group that want it. Hands up here that wants this. Let me see who wants success. James, take a picture. But you need to want it because there's too many people in Forever that say they want it. They talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. Yeah? And until we get that commitment from people that yes, I want to develop, yes, I want to learn, yes, I'll come to Success Day. These are the factors, aren't they?
Absolutely.
That are so important. And developing leaders is the way to ensure that you receive leadership bonuses. Leadership bonuses are so, so valuable. They can bring your bonus check from 1,000 to 5,000 per month. Is there anyone here that would like a 5,000 euro check by December? Is there? Yes. What about a 7,000 euro check? Yes. What about a 10,000 euro check? Yes. Okay, that like halved. Yeah. So those that want 5 don't want 10.
They just don't believe that they can.
Do you know what it is? It's belief. It's belief that you can do it. I would have struggled with self-belief. I would have struggled with, as Jill said earlier, self-worth. Am I really worth that kind of money? Am I really worth it? Can I really earn that kind of money? But you know, when I earned 1,000 euro, I saw it was real. When I earned 5,000 euro, I'll never forget that 5,000 check. That was when we got checks. They came in the door. I nearly fainted. It was 5,000 euro. Unbelievable. Imagine what you would do with that 5,000 check. Can you imagine? What would you do if you got 5,000 right now? Cry? After you cry, how would you spend it? Now the question is, what would you do if you got it again next month? And the next month, and the next month, and the next month. I actually had a very, very interesting phone call about 2 years ago from Deborah in our head office. And she sounded really, really excited on the phone. And I answered, and I was out shopping with the kids. She goes, Niamh, your bonus. Oh my God, your bonus this month. And I went, fuck, what is it? She goes, are you sitting down? And I went, no. What is it? Do I need to sit down? And she said, Niamh, your bonus this month is 22,000 euros. Right? Now, I stood there with the kids and I started shaking. And I started shaking and I looked around me and do you know where I was? Pennies. And I'm standing in Pennies with a basket of socks and pants for the kids going, okay, I clearly haven't caught up with my life. I still shop in Pennies. I love Pennies. You can't beat Pennies. However, I do remember it being a moment that I will never forget. And I will never forget because I stood there going, I can shop for another hour. This is deadly. And I went back to the beginning. But I just wanted to show you what is possible. I joined Forever for 50 euro per week. Success is a journey, and it is something that will take you from one goal to another goal, to another goal, to another goal. Earning 20,000 per month was never a goal. But it's what happened when I applied this to my business. We put 90% of our time into training our team, coaching our team, looking after our team, and helping them in whatever way that we possibly can. And if you take this forecore very, very seriously and implement it into your business, it will work. Does Forever work? Yes. Do you work? This is the question that you need to ask yourself all the time?
It's about creating that balance, though. And if you were just focusing on pure retail yourself, you'll have a real retail-style income. If you focus on just team building, but don't show people how they can build a retail business or how they can duplicate what you're doing, you're just going to end up having a lot of followers or an extra mailing list. So it's about finding that balance of the recruitment, the retention, the productivity, and the development all together. And then having a look at your business. Sit down tonight with a cup of tea or a glass of something else and analyze your business where it is now. Don't spend too much time doing it, but it is important to have a checkup from the neck up with your business to see where it's at and identify parts of it that you can focus on. As Jill said earlier on, she identified that she needed to work on her open business. Then maybe look back a little bit further, it's down to recruitment. And then you can get to work on that. Instead of feeling overwhelmed from where you are, you just roll it back to find out which individual area you need to work on. Does anybody like the photographs in these slides? Yeah, I love them now. This is all Dubai. This is all photographs that Xander took over in Dubai. And they're on the photos.foreverliving.com website. They're not just stock photographs from somewhere out there, from some photographer in La La Land. This is real forever. This is what forever is like. This is what it's like going on a forever trip.
Absolutely. So our time is up, but...
It was up 10 minutes ago.
It was up 10 minutes ago, I know. But what I really, really hope that we have showed you today is possibility. The possibility of your capability and what it is that you have your hands on. Do you know, guys, you can walk out of here today and come back here in a year's time, and I can meet every single one of you, and nothing will have changed. But nothing will have changed if you haven't changed. You need to take responsibility for your own business. Don't blame your upline, your downline, your across line. Don't do the blame game. Don't spend time giving out to head office because they don't have something in stock. It's wasted energy. Forever are our suppliers of our product, and as soon as they have a product, we have it. But look at the products that we have and run with them now. This is the most amazing opportunity, but until you decide that this business is going to change your life, that's what you need to do, is make a decision. So hands up who's going to leave here today and change one thing in their business from this presentation. Perfect, job done.
Job done.
Thank you very much, everybody.